What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tabletop Bros. Today we're going to be unboxing Warhammer 40,000 Darktide the miniature game. And full disclosure, I actually originally wasn't going to pick this up because I thought for $112 it was a bit on the pricey side for what you got in the set. But I did win this in a tournament, and when I did, I was definitely excited to have it, so I figured we might as well take a look together. I didn't actually play the video game, and a lot of these models are like older models from previous sets, and I already had some of them, but honestly it's pretty cool. So the box contains the campaign book, 10 dice, 10 operative data cards, 17 equipment cards, 24 upgrade cards, 21 activation cards, 4 kill zone tiles, 2 Darktide token sheets, and includes a total of 20 Citadel miniatures, 6 Pox Walkers, 10 Traitor Guardsmen, 1 Psyker, 1 Veteran, 1 Ogryn, and 1 Zealot. And it's got a skill level of 3. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. Alright, so one thing you notice right off the bat is Games Workshop has the multicolored sprues. So you basically have green sprues for all the bad guys and blue sprues for all the good guys. So that's kind of nice because you can basically bust these out, put them together, and then you can play right away. And you have a nice little differentiation between the heroes and the enemies. And then obviously along the way, when you have a chance, you can paint them up. And these are really nice Games Workshop models. They are full detailed models. So let's have a look at everything. Alright, so it is a nice little box of stuff. You definitely get that thing loaded to the brim. Going to start off with our bases, and then we have our hero miniatures. So there's 4 total sprues right here. So first we have Pious Vorn, who is the Imperial Priest with Eviscerator, and this is a current model for the 40k range. Also came in Blackstone Fortress. Really nice model, very detailed. I painted up quite a few of these for various projects, and she is definitely awesome. And then next we have the Imperial Psyker. This one came in one of the Blackstone Fortress expansions. Again, really nice model right here. I painted this one up, loaded with details, and also fully usable in the Astra Militarum range. And then next we have a brand new sprue. So this one is completely custom for this box set. And this is going to be the one that has the Ogryn. Very cool sculpt. And then it also has our Kasserkin hero as well. So again, nice detail on this. This actual sprue is a little bit warped, but doesn't look like there's any actual damage to the miniatures or anything. But very cool, loaded with detail. And again, I do like that they are colored sprues. And then next, moving on from there, we basically have a full sprue or 2 half sprues. That's our Traitor Guardsmen. And then we have one of the Pox Walkers. So this is the Traitor Guardsmen from the actual Kill Team set. Now, if you were going to pick up the actual Traitor Guard Kill Team, you would get like the Traitor Commissar and Traitor Ogryn as well. They are not included in this box set, but this is the actual sprue of all the Traitor Guard. These are very much in the likeness of the Blackstone Fortress Traitor Guard, but they're not the same models from that set. Those were easy to build models. These are your standard models. You got a bunch of different head options, a bunch of different like specialists and weapon options. Everything from like your standard las guns to melta-guns, flamers. We got a plasma gun, grenade launcher. We've got a power sword, close combat weapons, plasma pistol. So all kinds of cool stuff in this set. I do really like the overall like look and feel of these miniatures. I haven't painted up this actual kill team, but I have painted up the Blackstone Fortress miniatures, and they are really, really nice sculpts. They are very cool. Definitely a big fan of the Traitor Guard. And then next we have our Pox Walkers. So these are super basic. This was included in a bunch of various like starter sets back in the day. So these are easy to build models. There's absolutely 0 options on these. They are overall like pretty cool looking models though. And I feel like they do suit the actual like Darktide game pretty well. I haven't actually played it, but I've watched some gameplay and trailers. And I feel like this set pretty well encompasses the actual like heroes and monsters from the game. So pretty nice selection, 20 total miniatures right here. And then next we have our actual like cards. So let's open these up and take a look. Alright, so here we got our card stack all opened up. And I'm not really sure how to play the game, but it does appear to be like very similar to the Kill Team rules. Now this isn't necessarily affiliated with Kill Team. Seems like it does use the current Kill Team rule set and like stats. You have the option for upgrades, 2 pieces of equipment, and then of course you have your health, your weapons, attacks, hit, damage, and then special rolls. So this is our Psyker. We also have our Zealot, and then we have the Ogryn, the Veteran, and then we have for the bad guys, the Mobian Trooper, the Mobian Gunner, the Mobian Sharpshooter, and then we have the Mobian Chieftain, Mobian Commsman, and then we have our Pox Walker, and that's back to the beginning. So nice little set of cards right here. Pretty simple layout. Nothing on the back, just like the actual symbol for the game. But pretty cool. I like how these are laid out. I like that they have individual cards for the actual characters. And then next we have our like activation card deck right here. So let's take a look at what these are all about. So this is a pretty thick stack of cards right here. We have our activation Kill Team Operative. Again, just the symbol on the back. And then we have our 4 of those. We also have a 5th one in case one is lost or damaged. And then we have the activations for like the various troopers. So we have the Mobian troopers, quite a few of those. We have the gunner with flamer, gunner with grenade launcher. So it looks like this is similar to Blackstone Fortress, where you're going to basically like shuffle these up and then everybody's going to activate in a random order. And then moving on from there, we have the actual equipment cards. So we see Auspex, Metapack, a bunch of different ones here, Kraken, Frag Grenade, Combat Knife. So you can basically upgrade your troopers as you go, find some cool equipment or maybe purchase it. And then next we have specifically some Psyker upgrade cards right here, quite a few of those. Zealot upgrade cards, quite a few of those. And then we had the Ogryn upgrade cards as well. And then we see some veteran upgrades also. So pretty cool, nice little set of cards right here. We got our little dice pack right here. These are the 12mm dice, just 10 of those generic dice, nothing fancy about these. And then next we have the actual game board tiles. So it looks like there's 4 of these bad boys. Let's take a look at them. All right, so here are our 4 tiles. So we see that we're on like basically a little like grid system. Each of the actual tiles is like a front and back with different designs on them. Basically looks like your typical like spaceship setting. Pretty cool, lots of cool little detail and everything. Really nice detail. They are a heavier like card stock as well. These are like actual cardboard, not just like the flimsy game mats that you see in some of the Games Workshop sets. So definitely some nicer quality here. And it is like sort of the hex system, similar again, like you see with like Blackstone Fortress. I definitely see some like similarities between this and Blackstone Fortress, as well as obviously some Kill Team similarities. And then I think this is a pretty good jumping off point for like getting a first couple of models for like Warhammer 40k or any of the other games that take place in that setting. All right, so pretty nice card set right here. Definitely some nice little game board pieces. Now, interestingly enough, if you were to put these together, they do line up and everything like that, but they basically have like a dark edge around it. So you can basically combine multiples of these together. There is some minor damage also to like the actual cards. Like this is like pretty well bent, which is interesting because I'm not sure how that would take place in the packaging as I'm just opening up in front of you guys. So definitely some damage to these, which is obviously not what you want to see with a brand new product. Obviously this happened during the shipping process, and we can see some sort of like actual ridges on here. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It wouldn't stop you from playing, but if I bought this for over $100 and it came already damaged, I wouldn't be too happy with it. And then next we have the actual rule book. So let's take a look at that. All right, so first we have the actual rule book itself, and then we have a couple of token sheets and then our assembly guide. And one of the tokens just popped out right here. Again, not a big deal. These things are nice and punch out. Obviously they punch out very easily if they're just falling out on their own. Included in the actual token sheet, you have like your wound markers, a bunch of other markers, some cool little like hex objective markers. And then we have our range ruler right here. And then on the second one, basically looks like the same thing. It is slightly different. If we compare the two of them together, the actual like hex tokens appear to be the same. The wound markers appear to be the same. The only thing I'm noticing that's different is like these ones are gray and these ones here are red. And then the blue objective markers are slightly different, but all of the hexes appear to be the same. And then same thing also with the backside. We've got a 1, 2, and 3, and 4 on the blue pieces. And then again, we see like the red and the gray accordingly. But everything else is the same on the front and back, it looks like. And then the actual assembly guide, only a few pages right here. So we can see that the push fit models, like the Zealot and the Veteran, are pretty simple to assemble, only a couple parts each. And then we see the Ogryn's got a whole page to himself. The Psyker is only a couple pieces and goes right together. And then the majority of the book is made up with the actual Morbian Traitor Guard. So we see quite a few of those. We've got nice color-coded pieces. You have some various different weapon options, and then there's a quick little thing for the Pox Walkers. And then when it's all said and done, some nice little full-color pictures on the back. And then for the actual rulebook itself, it's not like super thick. It is like a soft binding, but it's definitely got a little bit of meat to it. So I'm guessing you get quite a bit of actual gameplay out of this set. So a little welcome in the beginning here. And then we see a little bit about getting started, building and painting. And then we have all of the components displayed once they're put together. And again, we see the color coding between the heroes and the bad guys. All of the tokens clearly explained here, as well as the cards. And then just rest looks like the rules, page 6. So basically less than 15 pages of rules, and the print's pretty decent size on this, so relatively quickly you could probably learn this game. And then going in on page 20, we've got a full page spread here, and this is talking about the actual campaign itself. So we see a little breakdown of the Rising Shadows, nice little story, little background information, and then we have the missions on page 26. So we have a cleanse, round 1 and 2, basically just breaks down how you're going to play it. Round 3, and then we see mission 2, scan and upload. Mission 3 is escort. Mission 4 is rescue. And with each of these missions, they also have like the basic layout for the boards, how you put them together. Look like there's a decent amount of variation with the actual configurations. Mission 5, and then we have mission 6, assault. And that is it for the rulebook. And then just a little thing about Kill Team right here. So obviously this is meant as a sort of jumping off point for Kill Team, which is pretty neat. Obviously we also have the new edition of Kill Team about to launch. We've already seen that shown off. That comes with a different set that's pictured here. That is going to be a new starter box and new edition. I am curious if this is going to be compatible with the new edition, as we're definitely going to see some rules changes with the new edition. We also see solo play. So I'm curious if that could transfer over to this, so you could potentially play this as solo. Obviously it's meant to play as a co-op, which is pretty cool, and I think something that's been missing from Kill Team. So that being said, pretty nice box set right here. Like I said, I wasn't really going to pick this up initially. 112 bucks seemed a little bit on the pricey side for only 20 miniatures. But now that I've got it in my hands, now that I've busted it open, it does look like a nice little game, a nice jumping off point around that $100 price, which makes it more of like something you could casually pick up, try out to see if you like the 40K universe, Kill Team, etc. As opposed to now Games Workshop typically doing more of like a $200 price point. It does include everything you need to play. If you're going to actually assemble your miniatures, you're going to need some kind of clippers. You also need some glue as well. But other than that, everything else in the box, if you want to paint your miniatures, you're going to need some paints. But I do like that they did the multicolor plastic. Now, I haven't played this before, but I have played Kill Team quite a bit. I've also played Blackstone Fortress, which this definitely has some similarities to. The way that you're like using the activation cards, the equipment and upgrades. Definitely is like Blackstone Fortress-esque. Also, because you're playing as co-op in this, or potentially like solo play, you're going to be playing against the bad guys. So you don't actually have like a dungeon master or somebody that's controlling the bad guys in this. So there's essentially like a built-in like AI for what the bad guys are going to do, random activations for who goes when, whether they're going to shoot you, fight you, move, etc. Which in Blackstone Fortress worked pretty well. It was definitely fun and felt thematic. There was a couple times where we had to like override sometimes what the random dice roll would tell the bad guys to do, because it just made more sense for them to fight or shoot or something along those lines. But I would imagine this plays pretty well, and it definitely looks like they have leaned in on some of the stuff in this Darktide set in the new Kill Team, which essentially has like that co-op mode or like the ability to play solo. And I do like that, because if you are brand new to Kill Team, if you're brand new to Games Workshop games, you have the ability to basically pick this up, read the rules, and then give it a try before you have to get together with someone. But in my experience, if you have someone that knows how to play the game, once you've read the rules on your own, or you have someone experienced teaching you, it's going to go a lot more smoothly. So overall, really nice product right here. I definitely feel like Games Workshop is leaning in on like the IP and the Darktide video game aspect, trying to kind of bridge that gap between video gamers and tabletop war gamers. Some of the complaints I heard is it would have been cooler if the models were a little bit more in flavor with the actual guys from the game, but I think they did a pretty decent job representing them with models from the existing Citadel range or like slight modifications. So let me know what you think of Darktide after watching this review, or if you have picked it up, especially if you had played it. I'd really like to know down in the comments what you think of this. I think initially I was hesitant to buy this and didn't want to pick it up just because the price tag, and it didn't seem like you were getting a ton for the box set. But after opening it up, it is a pretty nice box. I think at that $112 price point, right around $100, it's much more likely that somebody would like give this a try, as opposed to jumping into like one of the full box sets at closer to like 200, or in the case of Skaven Tide, like 265. Also, 20 models is a little bit more approachable if you've never built a model before. I think you'd probably put these together in just a few hours. Games Workshop's instructions tend to work pretty well, and if somebody was looking for a first kit to give a try, I would say this is a pretty good one. It does say ages 12 plus. It takes about 30 to 60 minutes to play a game, and it is good for 1 to 4 players. So yeah, that is our unboxing for Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, the miniature game. And it definitely has some Blackstone Fortress feels to it. which was an awesome game in my opinion. I played through it multiple times, including the expansions, and it was a ton of fun. Countless hours of gameplay. Also, this was really nice because it definitely leans in on the Kill Team rule set, so it's going to help you learn to play. Although again, I'm not sure how compatible it is with the new rule set that's coming out shortly, but I would imagine overall it's pretty similar. So if you enjoyed today's unboxing video of Darktide, hopefully by now Tabletop Bros has earned your subscription. And yeah, just from the initial unboxing, I gotta give this an 8 out of 10. So yeah, I guess that's it from the Tabletop Bros. Later!